5.5, applications of proportions. Solving an application problem using a proportion. This says, suppose you drive your car at 270 miles in 6 hours on the Pasadena freeway. If you continue at the same rate, how far will you travel in 10 hours? So it gives you your rate, 270 miles for 6 hours. And it wants to know, after 6 hours, and how far will you have traveled in 10 hours? Notice that I have the same thing on the bottom. How far will you travel? Far is miles, is my unknown, so I label it X. I'm going to take out the unit descriptions and leave it with the numbers only. So 270 over 6 equals X over 10. I'm going to multiply 6 times X to get 6X, and 270 times 10 to get my number, which is 6X. Well, I'm going to rewrite it. So 6 times X, which is 6X, equals 270 times 10, which is 2700 or 2,700. I'm going to divide to solve for that X. I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. And when I do, I get X equals 450 miles. A baseball player gets 8 hits in the first 18 games. If he continues at the same rate, how many hits will he get in 45 games? So I like to label it 8 hits for 18 games. You want to get into the same habit because you want to make sure that you answer the question 45 games. So your unknown is X. I'm going to take out the numbers, or take out the words, leave the numbers. 8 over 18 equals X over 45. I'm going to cross product. 18 times X is 18X. 8 times 45 is going to give me 360. So I have 18X equals 360. I'm going to divide both sides by 18. And when I do, I get X equals 20 hits. Let's look at the next one. Example 3. Sorry. A solution contains 4 milliliters of alcohol and 20 milliliters of water. If the solution has the same ratio of milliliters of alcohol to milliliters of water, and it must contain 25 milliliters of water, how much alcohol should it contain? So I'm going to take my ratio of what they gave me and then identify what they want me to convert it to. So I have 4 milliliters of alcohol all over 20 milliliters of water. They want 25 milliliters of water. So what will I have to do? I don't know how much alcohol. It wants to know how much alcohol. So I'm going to take out the words, and I get 4 over 20 equals X over 25. I'm going to cross product, and I get 20 times X, which is 20X, and 4 times 25, which is 100. I divide by 20 on both sides to get the variable by itself. So I get X equals 10 divided by 2, because hundreds, I have these zeros, these are going to make 1, so 10 divided by 2, which is 5. I could have also done 100 divided by 20 to get 5, and that would be milliliters of alcohol. Let's look at example 4. The scale on the map indicates that 1 inch on the map corresponds to an actual distance between 2 cities. So 1 inch is 85 miles, okay? 2 cities are 2.5 inches apart on the map. What is the actual distance between the 2 cities? So we know that 1 inch is equal to 85 miles. I know that 2 cities are 2.5 inches apart, and I want to know what is that actual distance. So I'm going to take out the words, and I have 1 over 85 equals 2.5 over x. I'm going to cross product 85 times 2.5 is equal to 1 times x. So I get 212.5 equals x. That means that I have 212.5 miles is the actual distance between the 2 cities. A farmer knows that every 50 eggs of his chickens that his chickens lay, only 45 of them will be marketable. If his chickens lay 1,000 eggs in a week, how many of them will be marketable? Okay. So I have 50 eggs total, but only 45 that are good eggs, right? What if I had 1,000 eggs total? How many would be good to go to the market? Let's take out the words. 50 over 45 equals 1,000 over x. We do 45 times 1,000, which would be 45,000, and 50 times x, which would be 50x. I'm going to divide by 50. And again, I don't need a calculator because 50 divided by 50 is 1x. I know the 0 divided by 0 is 1. And I know 45 divided by 5 is 9. So I could do that, and 900 would be my answer. Or I could put in the calculator 45,000 divided by 50 and get 900 eggs would be good for the market. And I will confirm with you whether or not you can use a calculator. This is 5.5. 5.5 is applying or applications of proportions.